In 2024, US household debt has soared to an unprecedented level, reaching trillions of dollars. Our society is currently engulfed in the largest debt bubble in history, which continues to expand every month. In contrast, previous generations managed to achieve their financial goals much earlier, enjoying a higher standard of living in a vastly different economic landscape. Today, Americans are borrowing and spending at unprecedented rates just to make ends meet, but a financial reckoning seems imminent. Recent data from the New York Fed revealed that household debt increased by a staggering $184 billion in the last quarter alone, driven primarily by rising mortgage balances as interest rates soar. If we could manage this enormous debt, it wouldn't be a major concern. However, new data shows we cannot, and a significant wave of delinquencies is on the horizon. The proportion of credit card balances in serious delinquency has climbed to its highest point since the Great Recession. With Americans struggling against high inflation and interest rates, more cardholders are falling behind on their monthly payments. Before going further, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave us a like below this video. Currently, the number of people unable to pay their credit card balances in full each month has already surpassed pre-pandemic levels. The flow of credit card debt into delinquency hit 88.9% last quarter at an annualized rate compared to 8.5% the previous quarter and 5.87% at the end of 2023. Transition rates for credit card and auto loan delinquencies continue to rise across all age groups, breaking records last seen in 2012 during the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. This trend indicates worsening financial distress among middle and lower income households. Joel Skol, a regional economic principal at the New York Fed, explained that a new economic crisis has begun, leaving millions of families financially vulnerable. Despite recommendations from economists and financial advisors to pay off balances monthly, many lack the means to do so. According to a Bankrate survey, roughly 44% of borrowers carried credit card debt from month to month in the first 3 months of 2024. Overall, credit card balances totaled $1.115 trillion, $129 billion more than the same period last year. Carrying a balance can lead to a dangerous debt spiral, especially today, with interest rates at record highs. Currently, the average credit card annual percentage rate, APR, stands at a new record of 27.2%, surpassing the previous high of 19% in July 1991. This means that those carrying debt to cope with rising prices could end up paying significantly more over time. For instance, if you owe $5,000, current APR levels would result in about 279 months and $8,148.22 in payments to clear the debt. Experts warn that addressing high-interest debt should be a top financial priority as it can quickly spiral out of control. Mike Croxon, CEO of the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, emphasizes that time is not on the side of consumers struggling with debt. Minimum payments and missed payments will likely lead to increasing rates. Another concerning factor is that nearly 1 in 5 cardholders is maxed out, using at least 90% of their credit limit. This could exacerbate the crisis, as maxed-out borrowers are more likely to fall behind on their bills. Younger individuals and those in low-income neighborhoods are particularly vulnerable, with about 1 in 6 Generation Z borrowers and 1 in 10 baby boomers close to exhausting their credit. Ted Roseman, a senior industry analyst at Bankrate, describes the credit card market as a tale of two cities, highlighting the stark contrast between those managing their debt and those struggling under its weight. While some cardholders pay in full and enjoy benefits like rewards and buyer protections, a large number are at risk of falling into an expensive debt cycle. Of the 258 million adults in the United States, 82%, or about 212 million people, have at least one credit card account. Currently, around 19.26% of them are delinquent on their credit card debt. The number of Americans falling behind on their auto loans is also surging, with average monthly car payments now at $738. Nearly 3 million US drivers are over 90 days delinquent on their auto loans, making auto loans the nation's second largest debt category, only behind mortgages. This financial strain is overwhelming many Americans, leaving them barely able to make minimum payments and feeling stuck in a debt limbo. "It's crazy," exclaimed 48-year-old Army veteran Oradorsi in an interview with the New York Times. Despite working 3 jobs, unexpected medical expenses have left her far from debt-free. "How am I supposed to retire?" she asked, unable to save for a rainy day while trying to pay down her debt. Similarly, 31-year-old Chris Nunn, a DoorDash driver, struggles with an unmanageable debt load. "We don't have the credit to buy a house, and we have a bunch of debt, either student loans or credit card debt. So we're trapped," she lamented. Virginia Dyers, a 74-year-old who moved to Florida from New York, also shared her dire reality. Her efforts to help struggling family members, including a niece with health issues, have delayed her retirement. "Every time I make a payment to my credit card, most of the money goes to interest, and that just snowballs," she told the New York Times. "I'm at the end of my rope." For countless families across the country, it seems like a lost battle. No matter how much effort they put in to turn things around, the path to financial freedom appears out of reach. The explosive rise in the cost of living in America is making it difficult for many to afford living in their own country. As of May, over 60% of US households were living paycheck to paycheck, according to data from Lending Club. In other words, the majority of people in our nation are just one job loss away from falling off a financial cliff. What was once considered a high income is now what's needed to simply afford the essentials. In 22 states, households need a net income of over $80,000 to afford the average cost of what most consider the essentials for a family of 4. Needless to say, most families are earning much less than that amount. That's why the level of economic pain we're witnessing is absolutely staggering. The saddest part is that conditions are only going to get worse in the coming chaotic months and years. Government officials don't seem too worried about the anxiety they're inflicting on our population, and will continue to act as if nothing matters while trying to convince us that everything will somehow work out just fine. Do you really believe them? Please write your comments below, and thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like below if you enjoyed this video.